So here's Brian Holiday.
2 for 7 as a pinch hitter this year, career 4 for 19. Does have a walk-off.
Yep.
Marlins looking for number 8. That would put them into second in Major League Baseball. Currently they sit 4th with 7 walk-offs.
Ground ball.
Second walk-off this season.
It was a high-five Gatorade splashing night, and this afternoon the Mets and Marlins will settle this series. Mets took game 1 Friday. The Marlins in exciting fashion, 8th walk-off of the year last night, and here we go for the rubber game before the road trip. Hi everybody, with Todd Hollandsworth, I'm Craig Menamini. Good to have you with us on a Sunday afternoon. The Marlins offense woke up in a big way, 11 hits, and a key hit, a comeback effort against the Mets.
Well, and that's the best part about this whole story. Listen, we've talked about the walk-offs this year. Great to see. But how about the 4th inning? They responded. Remember, the Mets scored 3 in the top of the inning. That, to me, is what a lot of last night was about. They battled back. They found a way to get some things done. Great at bat right there by Dietz. He really set it all up with the double the other way. Again, Prado with 2 outs. Good things going on. We've talked about this, staying inside the baseball, going the other way, taking what the pitcher gives you. At times, it's been the Marlins' way. They found a way to get it done last night.
Absolutely. Big hits. They came back from 3 down. They didn't get it done in the 8th, but they did get it done in the 11th, and the bullpen was magnificent, going 6+ to secure the victory and setting it up for Holiday's heroics right here against Todd Frazier. So that brings us to the rubber game. On paper, you might say, well, it's a big favorite to the Mets, Syndergaard, Chen, but hang on. Chen is home.
Chen is home, and he's one of the best in the game of baseball, particularly the National League. At home, 1.94 ERA. That's up there with the league leaders. 3rd best in the National League home ERA. I'll tell you, he is a different man. The numbers tell you. How about a 10.27 on the road? I have a harder time explaining that. Chen, aggressive, confident, making pitches, and I expect very much the same thing today against a Mets lineup that is struggling just a bit.
The Marlins have never beaten Noah Syndergaard. He's 4-0 in his career. We know how great a pitcher he is. He has had some injury issues this year. We'll see if they can get to him. ERA is over 3.
Well, it is. He's intimidating, and I think that's really where we go with this. 98 miles an hour and a great bunch of secondary pitches, but that's going to be the key. For me, it's always about, can the Marlins get to him early? And what I'm saying is early, not necessarily early in the game, early in the count. There's some numbers there that favor them just a bit. Can they make that happen? Of course, they've been swinging early in the count, well, here in the second half, and it hasn't helped the numbers. But today, it's the right time to do it.
Should be a fun one after last night. Marlins now have a chance to win this series before they get set for Atlanta and Washington. The bullpen, a big factor last night. Nelly, T-Hut, and Jessica with more on that when we return. We're getting set for Jessica T-Hut and Nelly.
Hey, Craig, last night a thrilling win for the Marlins. It was their 8th walk-off victory of the season. Brian Holiday coming up big in the bottom of the 11th. But, guys, you take a look at that win last night, and it was really a team win. Nelly, everyone doing their job, especially the bullpen.
They did. They only had one can of soup left in that cabinet last night, and that was Brett Graves. They went through everybody else, and a credible job, 6 1/3 with 0 runs given up.
You know, after Straley came out of the game, in came Harlan Garcia, got a nice easy 3 unassisted put out. That started things for the bullpen.
And then Eliezer Hernandez, what a great job he did as well. 1 inning of work, only giving up 1 hit. Outstanding defensive play by Brian Anderson in right.
And how about this? Teheran Guerrero, 1-2-3 inning. He hit 102 about 4 or 5 times in that inning.
And then Conley comes in an inning with a walk and a strikeout right there on Frazier to end that one. Outstanding job. He's been doing an outstanding job in the bullpen.
Steckenrider, 1-2-3. Bautista, Mesoraco, Jackson, all strikeouts.
And then Ruzinski has really thrown well since he's been a Marlin. Just came off the DL, little ground ball back to him to end this inning. Hey, I don't want to throw it. I'm going to toss it to you, and I'm going to run as fast as I can back to the dugout. Outstanding job.
Hey, Nelly, Javi Guerra was the second to the last guy out of that cabinet, and he had a nice 1-2-3 inning. So there was 3 1-2-3 innings from that bullpen. Just outstanding.
And that's the kind of win that can maybe get some momentum going and get you headed in the right direction again. Coming up next, it is a series finale between the Marlins and the Mets. It'll be Wei-Yin Chen versus Noah Syndergaard.
Brought to you by Southwest Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. By W.B. Mason, who but W.B. Mason, the official office supply company of the Miami Marlins. By Chevrolet, see your South Florida dealer today. And by South Florida Ford. Welcome back. Beautiful day here in South Florida. We're getting set inside Marlins Park for Mets Marlins Part 3 of the series. Here's a look at our Southwest New York Mets lineup. Mets had a big first game, 6 runs, 13 hits. They held a 3 runs, 6 hits over 11 innings. A little change in the lineup for Mickey Callaway today. Rosario leads off. Jackson back in the starting lineup. He'll be in center field. Flores third. He's been hot. Conforto very good since the All-Star break. Frazier's had a good run too with some RBIs in the series. Bautista gets the start. Plawecki, former Marlin. Reyes will play second base in front of Noah Syndergaard here in this ball game.
Well, on the mound, the Marlins this afternoon Wei-Yin Chen has been outstanding here at Marlins Park. You see the 5.48 ERA. Now that's on the season. I've kind of trained myself to just kind of dismiss anything that's total, any kind of road stats. I cut it down the middle, I cut it out, and I discuss it like it's never happened. That's what I'm going to do again today here at Marlins Park. 3-2 with a 1.94 ERA, 9 starts, so much better numbers. Think about this, 51 innings here at Marlins Park, only 35 hits allowed, 3 home runs, a whip of 104. There's such a huge difference between what he does and his confidence level here at Marlins Park than on the road. The numbers, road batting average against 350, here at home, 193. Last time out against St. Louis Cardinals, 5 2/3, 1 hit, no earned runs, 4 Ks.
First pitch to Rosario, he fouls it off. So Syndergaard is 2-1 with a 2.89 on the road. And you mentioned Chen at 1.94. So
yeah, I don't think, most of the time, like Syndergaard, you don't have to worry about splitting the home and road. It's been so amazing for Chen. I mean, it's of historical proportions. I mean, I think if he maintains the split that he has between his road numbers and his home numbers, it will be the greatest difference in Major League history between a starter at home and on the road.
And the Marlins went out of their way, count of 1 and 2 here, to have him start twice here with the off day last week at home. Moved him up to the Monday start, so he went Monday and now Sunday. And where they can, they'll probably continue to do that.
Well, certainly, if the numbers continue to favor home starts. Four-seam fastball, slider, change, and curve for Chen.
Fouled back 2-2 again on Rosario, who is 5 for his last 14. 235 on the season. That's up high, 3-2. Good to have you with us here Sunday afternoon. Paul back with Holly tomorrow. Busy day for the Marlins with a doubleheader, day-night doubleheader in Atlanta. We'll be on the air with the pregame at 1 o'clock. And he walks the leadoff hitter.
Get you the Marlins defensively for this afternoon's ball game. Ortega's going to get the start in left field. Sierra, who's done a nice job in center, making his 16th starts. Already got 3 outfield assists. Anderson over in right. Prado, Rojas, Castro, Dietrich at first base. Holiday making his 30th start behind home plate. I'd love to say he earned it, but I think he was getting the start today. Of course, the walk-off last night, not easy to do. Stepped right into that moment and took full advantage. Ripped a double down the third base line.
Here's the red-hot Austin Jackson. He's 17 for 37 as a Met. They did get him out, though, last night. No kidding. They struck him out in a pinch hit spot in the 9th. He was 3 for 4 in the opener with a double and an RBI. And when he plays, Callaway likes to put him in center field. So Nimmo comes out of the lineup today. Bautista would be in right field.
You mentioned it. Certainly good to see Jackson not starting. Yeah. Although doesn't have particularly good numbers against Chen in his career, only 1 for 11.
Mets want to see Rosario run more. He does have 5 steals since the All-Star break. There he goes. High pitch. Holiday's throw, and it's a stolen base for Ahmad Rosario, his 12th of the year.
And a pretty decent jump. Holiday not a bad pop time, able to get rid of it pretty quick. It's the throw. Maybe gets to Castro. We've seen him do a number of times. If he catches it right about there, you got yourself a caught stealing. Fortunately unable to come up with the throw. That ball bounced in. So the Mets in business.
Not easy to steal with the accurate Holiday, who has thrown out 53% of the runners coming into that attempt by Rosario, and doesn't have enough attempts. JT Realmuto leads the league at 42% catching would-be base runners. Strike on the corner, good pitch.
It's interesting. Rosario has shortened up his lead here at second base. Just thinking back to last night's ball game, Straley wheeled and picked him off. Not getting a huge lead, almost a lead that would lead you to believe that he's just kind of waiting on Jackson to get him over.
Marlins have been great executing that play. Not only because it is a timing play to get, what did you say, 5 guys they've gotten now?
5. That leads Major League Baseball at second, yes.
And I think if not 4 or 5 of them right here. That ball is driven to right field. Anderson shading over. And Rosario will tag up and go over to third with 1 out. But they had last year, recall, Todd, a couple of times the ball going to center field, and then it really botches the play. The guy moves up a base. This year they've been very efficient. If they don't get the guy, it's usually real close.
Well, and that's the thing. They've done it enough, and they've had enough success to where between your starters, your pitchers, your relievers, and your middle infielders, there's a consistency or an expectation. We talk about this in baseball all the time. The reason players practice so much is so that when they run these plays, they believe that they're going to get the result of the play. You don't do it just because you want to backpick and hope that you get them every now and again.
So here's Wilmer Flores with an RBI chance. Infield moves in for Miami in the first inning. Something you never saw 2 decades ago, maybe even 10 years ago, this early in a game, but now it's pretty common.
Yeah, this is as much about Chen's ability to make a pitch as it is Syndergaard being on the mound on the other side, anticipating a low-scoring ball game today.
Even with his big ERA, 1 more run per game over Chen on the road.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going there, buddy.
He's been great. He's actually a little better on the road. Syndergaard with his 289 and obviously heavy fastball and sinker. So Marlins will have their hands full. Here's the 1-1 pitch and a drive well hit to center. Sierra is going to try and give it a shot as Rosario tags. A good throw by Sierra. Make that interesting.
I told you, Sierra's got a pretty strong arm. Most people look at his actual size and think he must not have a whole lot behind it. He's thrown out 3 guys this year already.
Well, that's
Almost
a long
4.
way, Todd.
Almost 4. Did a nice job staying behind this high fly ball. That's not easy to do. These are typically the toughest for an outfielder to keep his momentum back, because as that ball drops, you have to time it. Got off a pretty strong throw, and I'm telling you, wow, 1 false step from Rosario, he would have been out at the plate.
Michael Conforto for New York, lefty-lefty matchup. He's hitting .310 since the All-Star break. Pick up that average a bit. .235 coming in. 14 homers.
Well, he's got that 25 consecutive road streak of reaching base. 417 on base percentage. Walked 3 times last night. Porto 64 walks on the season.
Tied a career high, 4th time in his career he's walked 3 in a game. He drives that one to left field. Ortega sliding over to the corner, and he runs out of room over there. Well, he would have been the catch of the year, at least for the Marlins, and one of the great ones in baseball. It nearly made it last night. As we look at our StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
Now that's the ball on the ground. Of course, we've seen Conforto beat this shift in this series.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes him out. So the Mets do get a run with a walk, stolen base, and some productive outs. 1-0 as the Marlins get ready for Syndergaard next. Here's our Southwest Airlines Miami Marlins lineup for you today from Don Mattingly. Here we go. Ortega's looked very good in 2 games. He's 2 for 8. He'll lead it off. Rojas up to the number 2 spot. Had a good series and an outstanding season. Castro, Anderson, Dietrich, the middle of the lineup. Prado over at third. Holiday gets the start, the hero last night. Sierra in center bats 8th in front of Wei-Yin Chen, the hot hitting Wei-Yin Chen, with 4 hits this year.
Noah Syndergaard getting the start for the Mets this afternoon. Stake to an early lead.
6'6", 240 from the Woodlands, Texas. Makes his 16th start for New York, 7-2.
25 years old. Marlins have seen him this year. Pitched against the Marlins back in April.
That's fair, hit the ump's foot. And sliding in safely is Ortega. Tough break for the Marlins. It hit Gabe Morales' foot. It would have been at least 2. And the way things go these days in that corner, you get a shot at 3.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is a tough break, but a great swing from Ortega. My goodness, actually caught him, I think, up on the shin. Let's take another look. Yeah, sure did, right. Just below the knee. That would have been extra bases as he hit that ball hard. Nice job, Ortega, hustling down the line. Boy, oh boy, he has been swinging the bat pretty well. Tell you what, been able to turn on some velocity.
Just a tough break. Morales has to be on that, straddling that line. There's nothing the umpire could do. Ball's hit fast, just a tough. You don't see that very often, though. It's almost amazing, Todd, that you don't see umps get hit with the ball, especially the base umpires, more often with the way the speed of the game is.
Right. Exit velocity.
Now, they don't have a glove. It's coming flying at you.
And they're always trying to make a call. Like in that situation, right. He's trying to get out of the way and at the same time let everybody know, because we're all looking at him to know whether that's a fair or foul ball.
Rojas takes high. He is concentrating on fair, foul. He's zeroing in on that and then self-defense at some point. He didn't even shake it off. That hurt.
Well, you're saying he took one for the team.
He did. He did. For the men in blue, or as the case may be, black and gray today.
Well, saved him some extra bases. Marlins could have used them.
There goes, good jump for Ortega. And he slides in.
Oh, love it.
Stolen base, his first as a Marlin.
Well, no waiting around. You can absolutely run against these Mets. 93 stolen bases allowed on the season. Great jump by Ortega. Head first slide in. Really no shot. The Marlins have their opportunity with the leadoff man aboard now in scoring position, much like the Mets and Rosario.
10th stolen base of his career. He had 8 with the Angels 2 years ago, and his first one when he played 2 games with the Rockies at the end of the 2012 season. Ground ball up the middle, bobbled though by Syndergaard. And he gets the out. Ortega has to stay.
All right, let's get you the AutoNation scouting report of Noah Syndergaard. Sunny days will eventually come the Marlins' way when it comes to beating Noah Syndergaard. 6 career starts versus the Marlins, 4-0 with a 1.62 ERA. So he's got some ownership over the Marlins. Hopefully that changes today. Now, seek the heat. This is the advantage I was talking about. I believe might help the Marlins this afternoon. Numbers really starting to trend in a little bit of a different direction towards the hitters in 2018. He typically racks up strikeouts, and we know he throws 98, 99 miles an hour with both his four-seam fastball and sinker. The batting average against this year has actually gone up in his career. 237 this year, 293. So numbers helping out. And it certainly promotes early aggressiveness in the count when you know you're going to get more fastballs. Now Noah's Ark. Now, I'm talking about a slider. It's his primary secondary pitch. No, not all the rain that we get down here in South Florida. 208 batting average, 33 strikeouts on his slider. That's where he goes to when he's looking for the strikeout.
0-1 on Castro, swings and misses 0-2. How about that stat? His first pitch strike is 4th lowest among qualifying pitchers in the NL, 54.6%. Tyler Chatwood, number 1 at 50.4%, and Scherzer's the leader at 69%. First pitch strikes. You think that's by intention?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that he would love to, obviously increase that number. But what I do know is this, that anybody that's going up against Noah Syndergaard is thinking, all right, I'm getting in the box and I'm ready to hit 98 miles an hour. That's what you've got to. The numbers favor the hitters early, not late. 2 strikes, batting average against 141. But get this, first pitch 324, 1-0, 424, 0-1, which is, he even got ahead.
Line shot left field. Conforto can't get it. It's on the ground. Here comes Ortega. Throw to the plate. Cut off. He scores. Marlins respond. 1-1 ball game. Conforto was deep out there, Holly.
8 pitches in. The Marlins have responded. Nice job by Starlin Castro. He's going to get a breaking ball. It stays up. 83 miles an hour. Up, out over the plate and rips it into left. Nice swing there. Ortega, great read. He knows that ball's getting down, so good jump. Good turnaround third base, and he scores easily. Tremendous response. You gotta love it if you're the Marlins. Syndergaard on the mound. Early run for the Mets.
Here's Anderson. Todd, you made a great comment there, and I think we've seen it in the 3 games. Ortega just looks like he belongs. He's been here before. A lot of minor league games. You're seeing subtle things to his game. That call there wasn't easy. A lot of guys might hold up. We haven't seen many line drives that deep that are going to fall in all the time here in this series. Ground ball softly hit. Runner moves up as Frazier makes the play. Castro to second base.
Yeah, watch Ortega does a nice job. Watch, as soon as the ball is hit, watch, he's going to spin around. This is exactly what you want. It's a read. He knows where that ball is, and now it's off and it's down. Ortega's been around the block enough, whether it's minor league baseball, major league baseball, to know how to read it. And again, so many of the things that we see on the bases and with the players today, you've got to set yourself up for before the pitch is thrown, and that's what he did well there. He knew exactly where their outfield was. And in this day and age where defensive shifting, guys playing all out of position, you've really got to pay attention to that on the bases.
Derek Dietrich standing in, takes a fastball outside for ball 1. Needs at 278. Had a double yesterday, 1 for 8 with a run scored in the series. And his 3rd straight start at first base. Syndergaard behind 2-0. Dietrich with a high pop-up in the infield. And Rosario makes the catch, but the Marlins respond in a similar fashion. 1-1 after 1.
25th, receive a player weekend jersey presented by Pepsi at the gates. Visit marlins.com/giveaways to purchase your tickets today.
Nice jersey. And Fox Sports 1, we understand, has that game, right? On
I believe
August
so.
the 25th. So
Would be correct.
We're televising, I think the number is what, 158, 159 this year, 158. And many of the other games on network television as well. As Todd Frazier stands in, 1-0 count to Wei-Yin Chen, or from Wei-Yin here, top of the second.
Frazier's had a nice series, 3 for 8. A big double yesterday with the bases loaded, drove in all of the Mets runs, all 3 of them. Scored a couple of runs, stole a base as well yesterday.
He's sneaky. He's got 6 steals, and there was not contested.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many uncontested stolen bases this year. I know he slid into the second base, but that's about as close as you get. He stole that on Australia, right?
He did that little sneak attack.
Halfway to second base before Australia had made a pitch to home.
Full count now on Todd Frazier, 2-time All-Star. Trying to extend a 4-game hitting streak. That's fouled off. Frazier, Bautista, and Plawecki here in the second for the Mets, whose long road trip here just getting going. We've been talking about 10 games. It's 11 games, right? 10 days and 5 cities. And strike 3 called. Second strikeout in a row for Wei-Yin Chen.
Now Frazier frustrated. He didn't do a better job, probably trying to foul that off. To a curveball. Tell you what, that's been a big pitch for Chen here over his last couple of starts. That St. Louis game, August 6th, threw second fewest four-seam fastballs in that game, and in fact started throwing more curveballs than sliders. It was a season high of 33 sliders. Confidence in all 4 of his pitches right now.
1-0 on Jose Bautista, who fouls it off. So the Mets on this 10-day, 11-game, 5-city trip. It's a lot of packing and unpacking here in Miami. Then they go to Yankee Stadium. Would you assume? I guess they'll go home tonight, right? They'll get a home night because it is New York for the makeup game, but then leave right after for Baltimore. And that's only 2 games in Baltimore. Then a quick trip to Philly. But after a doubleheader on Thursday, they're going to, during that series, as you take a look at this crazy stretch, they have that Little League Classic game they're going to play in Williamsport. Ground ball, tough play at third. Prado, oh, he's so good at it, and Dietrich couldn't hang on at first base.
Well, tremendous effort by Prado. Really only the bare hand play. Nice job coming in past third base. All in one motion. Good strong throw across the diamond. At first base, Dietrich had to anticipate that sink. When the ball is down, it stays down. Even when it comes back up a little bit, it starts to move back down towards the dirt. Hits right off the top of his glove. Not an easy play. One that you hope is made.
He scored that a hit.
Bautista's not going to argue with that.
That's a tough hit for Chen to give up. Here's Plawecki.
Bautista 2 for his last 34. He'll take a hit anywhere he can get one. Yeah, just as fast as I said that. He switched that to an error.
Yes, that was an error.
Got everybody up here fired up, Craig.
I'm looking at it. I mean, it was the tough part was really, and Dietrich will be the first to tell you, what Prado did with that bare hand play. The throw was right there.
Right, and again, didn't spend a whole lot of time in my career at first base, but enough to know that when the ball's coming from that angle, particularly on a tough balance play where Prado's moving towards home plate, that ball's going to sink out of his hand. You can almost see it, even in the replay, the up and down, and Dietrich just missed it right off the top of the glove.
And you know, you watch them take infield and they're hitting balls all over the place. This is one you don't really get practice on.
Right, it's tough to do because normally, you know, you take your balls and even your throws across the diamond, you take it in such a way that you don't typically, you know, start to accelerate through and make hard plays or bare hand plays during, you know, infield practice.
Underhand throws.
Right. Occasionally you see it. Sometimes you'll see it during spring training, but it's not something that you typically see during the course of a normal game day during the regular season.
3-1 count as Chen has fallen behind the hitters here early on. Bautista does have a couple of steals, driven to left field. Ortega moving over. He'll make the catch for the second out. And here is Jose Reyes. Now 35 years of age. Four-time All-Star. And obviously a former Marlin. 2012 season. Right here, he helped open up Marlins Park. Takes a strike.
Now Reyes having a rough offensive season, although he's done some things that certainly catch our attention. He's homered from both sides of the plate in the ball game. I believe he did that just last week. He's been swinging the bat a little bit better over his last 15 ball games. 263, couple of doubles, 6 RBIs, 5 runs.
Only one Met has more hits in the blue and orange than Jose Reyes, and he is playing today. David Wright is playing for St. Lucie in Clearwater. That game is just getting underway with 1,777 hits, David, and Reyes is 9 hits short of 1,500 as a Met.
Yeah, David Wright 0 for 1 at Clearwater this afternoon. Wilson Ramos also in that game.
Gets away from Holiday, throw to second, it's close, safe is the call. As Bautista sliding in gets the safe call from second base up Jerry Meals. Marlins are going to look at this.
Well, nice job by Holiday making up some time. Bautista pretty aggressive. Ooh, I don't know. Need a little help here. I think he just beat it.
I think he did too.
I think he just beat it. I was watching the bag start to compress.
Ooh, boy, from that side.
Wow.
From that last look.
Tell you what, I thought Bautista had it easy when I saw the ball and the dirt and the time and everything in the jump.
The Marlins aren't going to challenge it.
How about that?
The one we had here coming up in a second is they're going to look at it now in New York. This is an early inning, 2-out, pitcher up next challenge here.
Well, there's a couple angles where I thought he was out, but that's not the one. You know, these, it's too hard to tell.
See, is the glove touching the leg? And
Well, it's the combination of, I think, what you see from behind. Here you go. Maybe we get a little better look here. So watch the bag. You gotta have to watch the bag as well. Oh man, you could see where the pinky, you know, in Starlin's glove, you could see his pinky kind of compress against his knee from that back angle, and it looks to me just before the bag, but I've now gone back and forth 3 times. So
I know what you're saying.
Your
Is there
guess
enough?
is as good as
I know.
mine.
You're saying he's probably out, and is there video to support it?
Well, and I don't know if there's enough because he was called safe, and that's the problem that I've got.
Clear and convincing. Safe.
There you go.
And that's the difference. Clear and convincing evidence.
Right.
So the call confirmed. Marlins lose their challenge. There's another.
See, the bag moves just before I felt like Starlin's glove hit his knee.
Interesting spot, though. I think the Marlins thinking, well, obviously a man in scoring position is a big factor here in this kind of a ball game. And part of the lineup, but it was one of those toss-ups. So Reyes gets a shot here with 2 outs. The 1-2 count, pitcher on deck. And Reyes drives it deep to left field. Ortega is back, it's gone. On a 1-2 pitch with first base open, Reyes, it's his 4th homer of the year, and the Mets take a 3-1 lead.
Well, my goodness, you're absolutely right. This is a big-time mistake, a 1-2 mistake, and Reyes was ready to pounce on it. 4th home run of the season. Told you, last 15 games have been a lot better for Reyes. Now this fastball ends up splitting the plate up. Well, no doubter. Let's retake the lead, 3-1.
One on Syndergaard. Takes strike 2. And swing and a miss, so he struck him out, but a damaging inning for the Marlins. Good one for the Mets. They scored 2 on the homer by Reyes. Fun. Watch TD here. Oh, this is some rude behavior by the locals. TD, Stanley C. Panther in on it, and Bernie from the Heat.
It's Stanley taunting him. My goodness, what's going on down there?
That's an instigator penalty, definitely.
Stanley's getting a little fired up early. He must be excited for the hockey season.
He's getting ready. Panthers are looking good.
Getting ready? Is that what he's doing?
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Miami Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins.
All right, here's the Mets defensively behind Syndergaard, Conforto, Jackson, Batista. That's the outfield. Frazier, Rosario, Reyes making only his 5th start at second base this season. Oh, by the way, he's got 3 errors over there. He's impacted this game with a 2-run home run. Flores, first base, along with Plawecki behind the plate. Now getting into some of that game planning against Syndergaard. We saw a bit of it early. Castro hit the third pitch, an 0-2 pitch. An RBI single. Ortega, second pitch of his at bat. Again, that's where the numbers really do favor the hitter. Early in the count.
Martin Prado takes strike one, 98 miles an hour, the lower part of the strike zone. Well, Don Mattingly told us today that the key for him is, yes, take his fastball on, but don't chase that good slider and change.
You just saw it, 91 miles an hour. Sinker, slider, change. That's the Syndergaard arsenal. Does have the four-seam fastball, though he's not using it nearly as much. Does have a curveball as well.
And now he's 0-2 on Prado and strikes him out. Well, that's exactly what happened. Big fastball, and then it's tricky because he throws so hard you got to be ready for it.
Right. Well, the other thing is that you got to start dealing with that slider, and it doesn't typically start the at bat with the slider. So ideally, some of these right-handed hitters may want to take their best swing early in the count when they see that 98 or towards the middle of the plate. I mean, he is classic. Gets nastier as the bat goes on. Hitters, Starlin Castro beat this already. Hitters hitting only 141 against Syndergaard with 2 strikes.
Holiday takes that grounder, ground ball to Frazier coming in, and he throws him out. Excellent defense from the New Jersey native over there. 2 outs. Syndergaard was acquired by the Mets in the deal that sent former Marlin John Buck as well to New York in the R.A. Dickey deal in December of 2012. He was the Blue Jays' first-round pick in the 2010 draft. And a bunt by the speedy Sierra, and he nearly beat that one out, and it didn't go very far. Plawecki throws him out at first, but it was close. And considering that bunt wasn't too far away from the plate, it's amazing it was that close. We'll go to the third. Fox Sports Florida, Southwest Airlines are giving you an opportunity to enter for a chance to win an all-inclusive stay in Nassau in the Bahamas Labor Day weekend. It's the Southwest Airlines Summer Days Getaway. Here's what you have to do. Tweet hashtag Southwest Summer Day Sweeps and hashtag 2 at Fox Sports FL for your chance to win. One of these days we're going to get the Hollingsworth gang over to the Bahamas. Right? Perhaps.
Looking forward to that.
Ahmad Rosario Walked and scored, stole a base, did exactly what the Mets want to see from him, as the Marlins got from Ortega in the first inning with the single stolen base, wound up scoring on a base hit.
Yeah, it was a good at bat by Rosario. Fouled off a couple of tough pitches away from Chen. Kind of worked his way back to get that walk. So good sign there. He's looked good out of the top spot. I know coming in wasn't hitting particularly well out of the one hole. That's trying to decide whether Rosario could be that answer, not just for the remaining games this season, but when they matter once again in 2019. This young man's got some game. Talented young player.
3-1 count now. We've seen the 3-ball count, what, 3 or 4 times already through 10 hitters. And he missed there and walks again. Rosario to lead off an inning. So Austin Jackson comes up for the Mets. Chen's only allowed 3 steals. The Marlins have not caught anybody, which is very unusual on the staff because they've done such a great job. But again, a low number, only 3 for 3, whereas Orena they've tried 10 steals on, caught 6 of them. We'll see if Rosario's moving again as Jackson takes the ball.
Well, for Rosario, it's just went first move in the first. It's a possibility once again. Chen, particularly fast towards home, just quite deliberate.
Lined into the crowd. Is it easier or not easier to steal? Usually they say not against the lefty, but you go first move.
It's tough.
It's probably more pickoffs.
Yeah, more guys in today's game really do run, and we see this a bit more. You know, they try to pick a pitch and go. First move off that lefty. It's not about reading his delivery.
Good fastball there. Count of 1-2. Jackson said he didn't know what to expect when he came over to the Mets. Signed him July 27th. Had a bit of a rocky year. Signed with the Giants. Pretty good 2-year, $6 million deal. Went to Texas early July. They released him the next week. And he was looking for a spot, and he found one here, though he strikes out looking. That's Chen's 4th. It's the other side of this game so far. 4 strikeouts for Wei Chen.
Yeah, all in the slider, and does it once again. Able to get the slider to that outside corner, bring it all the way back. Jackson had given up on the pitch. Nice out number 1.
Wilmer Flores drove in the first run of the game with a sac fly to center field. Takes a strike. A little number in front of the plate. Chen will have to go to first to get the out as Rosario moves up to second base. 2 outs. Runner in scoring position for Michael Conforto.
A nice job by Chen putting himself in position to turn and make a strong throw to first. You have to deal with Conforto. Conforto, a strikeout victim his first time up. For Chen, the 4 strikeouts today. 3 have come on the slider, 1 on the curveball.
Marlins with 3 on the right side of the infield against Conforto. 0-1 is in the dirt, blocked by Holiday. I was asking Don Mattingly today about Holiday. He said, hey, he's a guy who's just done a great job for us. Had the big hit last night. As a backup knows his role. It's a tough spot because they only start once every 4 or 5 games, if that. So it's tough from an offensive standpoint. The real job is defensive, and he's done a great job.
Well, that's what was so impressive about last night's huge game-winning hit. It was only his second at bat on the homestand. A whole lot of opportunity. You thrust into those game-winning situations. You love it when you come through. He's done a fantastic job behind the plate.
You look at the Marlins have had some great backup catchers, role players. I think of Mike Redmond, your teammate,
yeah,
who had a 280 type average. Used to find that soft spot at the right field. And Matt Trainer, Bob Nato back in the day, swing and a miss. Jeff Mathis in recent years too. There's good, solid defensive players that give you a little pop every now and then offensively.
There's a common denominator between many of the individuals you're talking about, that dynamic. They're great leaders, they're great communicators, and really good catchers. If you get one that can hit a little bit, it's an even bigger plus.
It's a bonus, yeah.
That was kind of the Redmond factor there. It was not only was he a great catcher, but he could hit a little bit. There's some real good quality at bats, and Holiday's given certainly the Marlins some moments with the bat as well of late.
That 2 walk-off hits this season of the 8 walk-off wins. Mets took their 8th walk-off loss of the year last night, second most in Major League Baseball, only to the Twins, who have lost 12. Runner goes, a drive hit in the air to center field, and that'll be an easy one for Sierra. Puts it away. No damage here in the third. 3-1 Mets.
Well, the Little League World Series begins on Thursday, and for the second consecutive year, Major League Baseball will be playing a regular season game at the site of the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And this year, it'll be the Mets and the Phillies. It's no doubt a special experience for the kids and MLB players alike, but it means a little more to Mets third baseman Todd Frazier. Frazier not only played in the Little League World Series, but him and his teammates from the Toms River East, the Little League, won it all in 1998. And although it's been 20 years since that championship, Frazier says it feels like yesterday because of how much fun they had and the memories made. It's something he said he'll never forget. He will be reunited with his teammates from his 1998 championship team as they are set to be honored before the Major League Baseball Little League Classic on Sunday, August 19th. And guys, how about this? Frazier says when pitchers talk smack to him, he says, hey, listen, I got the biggest W ever, so don't talk smack.
Well, that's going to be fun for him to go back and play a major league game. There's Chen. Swings and misses. Second strikeout for Syndergaard. Great stuff Major League Baseball has been doing with the Little League Classic game now. And remember, the Marlins played on the military base in North Carolina a couple of years ago, July 4th.
Well, I think in this instance with Frazier, what an opportunity. I mean, we a lot of times kind of reflect back. I grew up in Cherry Hill, talk Little League, and you think back. My mom had just sent me some baseballs. She was in the middle of a move, some old baseballs from when I was a kid. You start to flood with those memories. Todd gets to step right back into, an experience, a life experience that he had with a special team and winning a championship, that Little League World Series, and literally kind of walk right back down that path again. That's got to be a really, really exciting time for him.
Absolutely. And the Little League World Series going on. Qualifiers and a lot more television coverage now, even the entry games. Ortega, 2-1 count. So did you have one or two of those baseballs that stuck out, big moments as a young Holly?
Well, the first one,
Jersey?
well, the first home run that I ever hit as a kid, I still remember it like to this day. I hit it to the right, like I surprised
Line
myself.
Drive, and not going to get over the head of Reyes. You hit it over the fence.
Over the fence to right center field, which you'd think left-hander, hitting the ball over the right center field fence. It just, wait a minute, I can do that? Like I had, no, it's not supposed to go that way. Like I shocked myself.
So you hit it to right center. It was the first one they had. You hit it in batting practice a little bit?
Well, no. I just kind of enjoyed. I kind of understood the game was hit the ball and run really fast. I had the really fast part down. I could run really fast and a lot of times beat the throw to first base. But like actually hitting the ball in the air and watching it go over the fence like blew my mind. I was like, wait a minute, I get to run around the bases and nobody can do anything about it. And it's kind of it changed my life. It's when I fell in love with the game of baseball that day. There's no doubt about it. Little tree in Cherry Hill, little tree out in right center field, and it went over the tree, and I was like, this game's great. Now if you hit it over the fence, you get to run all the way around the bases.
That's right. They can't throw you out. Sometimes you play, I'm sure you played some games without a fence. Maybe some fields don't have fences.
Right.
Back in the day, now it's more common.
Well, like my first home run, I think that I hit like in T-ball or whatever it was, coach pitch was like a ground ball down the first base line, and where you're right, everybody was just diving all over the place, and you run around the bases. Once I realized you could hit it over the fence and you got a free pass all the way around, and this game's for me.
Get to jog around. That must have been fun too. To slow up the pace a little bit.
Oh well, think about it. Listen, we love this. You're running around the bases. Everybody's stopping and waiting for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? The game will not go on until you run around the bases. It's a pretty cool moment. I love to see the kids today. I mean, there's just so much enthusiasm. I love the coverage of the Little League World Series. It is just a spectacular way of promoting our sport and the youth of America.
That pitch inside to Miguel Rojas. Miguel was a great ping pong player and actually played that mostly in baseball on the weekends. But he got into his Little League and baseball career just because his arm was struggling. He was a pitcher. So his youth is in many people, many sports. As he swings and misses at that one, that ends the frame here. 3-1 through 3. Good one. Got 2 games coming at you tomorrow. Our doubleheader in Atlanta. I'll be in the studio with Jeff Nelson for game 1 at 1 o'clock. Tommy Hutton will join us at 7 for game 2, assuming everything is on time. We hope.
Don't go there. Don't give me that look.
South Florida.
It's like a possibility every day in Atlanta. And you're already gone. You've already gone there.
Well, our last road trip.
Yeah, Paul went there a couple times. I got mad at him too for doing that.
I know you did. Hey, Paul told me to get you a little more upset for some reason. I don't know. Get under your skin a little more.
Get me all riled up.
Get him ready for you for the road trip.
That's what we need. Another rain delay.
Thankfully, they don't have to list them in the media guide like they did for years when the Marlins played in the other stadium.
That was a daily occurrence.
Oh.
Yeah, the old stadium. A lot of times you would wait. There wouldn't be any rain coming. They'd just be like, the radar tells us it's going to rain in 10 minutes, so we're going to wait.
There's a swing and a miss. That was the weird one with the Mets the other day when Vargas pitched, and I think he threw 14 pitches. You know, you wait, and then the rain comes. There was an hour and 45-minute delay. I don't know if somebody missed the report there, but he wound up giving up, I think, 3 runs. And then there's a little poke shot to right field, base hit. Frazier rounding first. He's going to try it. Anderson's got that big throw. Oh, he's out by about 5 to 10 feet.
Goodness. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, Brian Anderson is getting to be one of the better right fielders in the National League. Does about everything right. Wants to get to this ball before it comes off the grass. Strong throw. You see it. I mean, Frazier, no shot. Watch the turn. Good line, strong throw. Man, oh man. Are you to the point now, Craig, where much like myself, I anticipate, I expect that result. I don't expect the other. I'm kind of surprised if it doesn't happen that way.
You're absolutely right. We knew he had the cannon, and he's talked about the working on the footwork is outstanding now.
Well, you know one thing that I love that he does, and I hope he does this for his entire career, but I doubt he will. I probably shouldn't have said it that way. The point is, even when there's a play, even as a routine hit to him in the outfield, he always comes up with a strong throw all the time. Now, that's a play where a guy runs around first base and he kind of makes his way back. You'll see outfielders kind of, well, I don't want to say let up a little bit, but you don't have to throw it in 100 miles an hour, I guess is my point. Part of why I think he's getting so good so fast is that he's constantly practicing, even in the moments where it's just a routine play and he gets it back in. He's working on those lines and those throws, and you see it right there pay off. I've seen him a number of times this year, you know, just make a routine throw back into the infield, but it's coming in about 105 miles an hour for crying out loud.
Excellent point.
8th outfield assist for Anderson.
Frazier's laughing about it now. There's a check swing, and he went 3-2. He's probably rounding first, and now I'm going to test the rook. And the word is going to get around. And I'm surprised it's not as much already. Strike 3 call. Well, what a turnaround in this inning for Wei-Yin Chen to get Frazier on that play and then come back from behind on the count to get Bautista.
Yeah, but Bautista's taken a couple of pitches, including yesterday his strikeout down at the bottom of the zone. Chen able to dial it up. Get the exact same result. You see the frustration for Bautista as he's walking off. He thinks this ball is down.
So here's Kevin Plawecki. He lined out to left first time up. Plawecki started game 1 of the series.
8th outfield assist for Anderson. He is tied for the National League lead amongst right fielders. Along with Andrew McCutcheon's also got 8.
How close did you say he was? He was Anderson.
Tied.
Tied.
Tied with McCutcheon for the league lead. Right fielders.
Yeah, but he's missed how many games? 20?
No, he was busy being a third baseman early on.
Yeah.
Right. Another thing, again, that's impressed me is he's embraced the position switch. He didn't go at it like, all right, I'm going to try to be a good right fielder. He's gone at it like, I'm going to be a great right fielder. So much so that I think many of us think he's a right fielder first.
I think he is starting to think along those lines as well.
He's really good at it.
He bought in right from the beginning. Keep the bat. It was a keep the bat in situation. Okay, I'll go out there. He told me he really didn't play any in college.
Right.
Inning, couple innings. It was not one of these where he went out there every 3 or 4 days.
Well, the key, any position switch in this sport. I love to see young kids in the game today play all over the field. Don't label yourself early. Be a lot of things. Be an outfielder, be an infielder if you can. Be as much as you can. Anderson embraced it. It's the key word.
Plawecki to center. And there is Sierra. So that turned out to be a nice inning for Miami. They trail 3-1. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By the Cleveland Clinic, stiff joints, aches and pains. Trust Cleveland Clinic Florida, the #1 orthopedic care in Florida. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Being indoors is a pleasure when it's raining outside. Like it is, the city has disappeared from our view over the left field wall. As we welcome you back here, good to have you with us here. Craig Minervini in for Paul. Mr. Severino, Mr. Hollingsworth will be busy tomorrow. We're calling 2 games from Atlanta. 4 games in Atlanta, day off Thursday, then in D.C. before the Marlins return home a week from tomorrow. Starlin Castro to lead off here, bottom of the 4th against Noah Syndergaard.
Well, as expected from Syndergaard, we've seen that fastball early in the count. He's making quick passes through many of these innings. Only 30 total pitches, 23 strikes so far today.
Swing and a miss by Castro. Let me correct myself. The Marlins are off that Monday, but then a week from Tuesday, and this is going to be fun, the New York Yankees will be here for 2 days, the 21st and 22nd, followed by the Atlanta Braves for 4. This is not an easy month when you look at the opponents here the Marlins have been playing. You'll see the Red Sox in Boston. All the matchups with Atlanta, Washington playing better, Philadelphia. But the Bronx Bombers will be here. 21st and 22nd. Make your plans. That's going to be a fun couple of nights.
Starlin Castro has driven in only run of the ball game for the Marlins today. 2-strike base hit against Noah Syndergaard, team leading 55th hit with 2 strikes. That's also 5th in the National League.
And he went out of the zone to get after that one. 4th strikeout.
It's easy to beat the heat when you become an energy-saving expert. Go to fpl.com/beattheheat.
You worry about Syndergaard getting in the rhythm here, Todd. He had a little shot at him in the 1st, and he has now retired 9 in a row since the Castro single. Brian Anderson takes a strike. That fastball runs inside. 97.
You mentioned the schedule coming up for the Marlins. They're going to get to see the Yankees again and the Boston Red Sox. Have you seen the season that J.D. Martinez is putting together in Boston? All right, so we went back and did some research. Slider off the edge. Now, he got traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks July 19th of last season. So since that day to today, he's played in 166 games. How about these numbers? 61 home runs and 155 RBIs. In 166 games, just over a full season.
Just over. What's the homer?
61.
61. There it is.
155 RBIs as well.
Anderson the other way, eluding Reyes' base hit. Marlins' second hit, a one-out single.
Nice job by Anderson going the other way on the fastball. Saw Reyes kind of creeping back up the middle. First hit of the ball game, Brian Anderson.
Anderson has done a great job of, he doesn't seem to ever get into a deep slump. A little struggle here and there, like everybody. Keep looking up at his average in the 280s. 283 now after that base hit.
Does he use the whole field?
Yes, he does.
There you go. Every great hitter that I ever talked to, the Hall of Famers, the Tony Gwynns of the world, every one of them said the same thing. You want to avoid long, lengthy slumps, maintain a line-to-line approach. By kind of getting into that mindset, you allow yourself to succeed in different ways. It's not just one style. Pull hitters have to have pitches to pull. Have to be hot.
And today now they have to defend you the old-fashioned way.
Right.
Can't squeeze the field on you. Check swing, excuse me, style, throw to second is in time. Frazier able to get Anderson. Gets one back on Anderson. He wanted to make sure he got Anderson out somewhere.
After a little payback, is that where you're going with that? You might be right. It's a lot closer than I thought. Yeah, certainly just enough. Rosario with the stretch.
It's a unique 5-6 put out at second base. And
Two outs here at the bottom of the fourth. Martin Prado. Just to wrap up on Anderson, we were talking about line to line. How about this? Left, center, and right. We'll break down his hits for you. First pitch slider. Swing and a miss by Prado. 37 hits to left, 43 hits to center, and 41 hits to right. You know what? That works in anybody's ballpark, not just Marlins Park. Probably learn to pull a little bit more, start to see some of that power as he advances here in his career. Now, tremendous approach. Benefited both Anderson and the Marlins.
Prado struck out in the second, 1-1 count. In the bottom of the fourth, Mets scored a run in the first, two more in the second. Up the middle, base hit. Dietrich rounding second. Ooh, turned that bag hard, as he does. Maybe trying to at least draw a throw. Marlins with 2 hits in an inning for the first time in this ball game.
Now Prado stays hot. He has really been on the fastball here of late. Nice game. Excuse me, nice ball game last night. Swing right here. As he lines one back through the middle. Enough with that slider, he says. You know what? First good fastball you throw me, I'm gonna rip it. Well done.
So here's the hero from last night, who waited and waited and finally came up in the bottom of the 11th in a pinch hit spot, last man standing, and he got the walk-off hit. Takes a fastball. Now, as a reward, he gets a chance to face Noah Syndergaard.
As we've talked about, going into that at bat, Holiday had a total of 0 at-bats on the homestand. That's what I love about that moment. Stepped right into it, got a pitch he could handle, and ripped it down the third base line.
And a line drive base hit. Dietrich rounded third. Conforto will throw. It'll be cut off. A 2-out hit for Brian Holiday. His 14th ribby has the Marlins within 1.
He's a hitting machine. My goodness. Getting it done once again. Turning on 98 miles an hour. Love it. Great approach. Guys looking to be aggressive early in the count. Their 5th hit today against Syndergaard. 4 of those hits against the fastball. We talked about those numbers have gone up. Approach early in the count.
Magneuris Sierra now with a chance to tie this ball game up. He is 0 for 1. Swing and a miss. Bunt attempt going out on a very close play by Plawecki. Boy, if his bunting, it doesn't even have to be great. From what we've seen, if he can just even be in an average style, get the ball down on the ground, with his speed, he's going to beat out a lot of bunts for hits. Here he's looking for something different, though. 0-1, line drive, center field, but he hit it well. Jackson walked in, now goes back and makes the catch. So the Marlins get 1 on 3 hits in the 4th.
Holiday, who was also the hero in last night's ball game. Justin Bour traded to the Phillies on Friday. Yesterday, he posted this message on Twitter to say his goodbyes. Thank you, Marlins, for everything. To the fans, I want to thank you for welcoming me and making me feel so at home in Miami. Your support along the ride has meant the world to me. Great things are coming your way, and I wish you all the best. And guys, I know we all wish JB the best as he takes the next step in his career.
Absolutely, Jessica. Always like talking with him, and the Marlins are going to see Mr. Bour in early September. 3rd through the 5th right here at Marlins Park. Jose Reyes homered first time up. Marlins also have a trip to Philadelphia mid-September. 6 more games to go against the Phillies. The race, boy, how interesting is the race this year in the National League East? Phillies back up by a game on Atlanta. They're even in the loss column. Nats are playing better, but haven't gained much ground. They're 5.5 down. A lot of games to go. Played at shortstop. Rojas on the backhand throws, takes Dietrich off the base with the throw. That should be an infield hit for Jose Reyes.
it is. It's going to be a hit. Tell you what, Reyes has had some great swings against Chen today. 402-foot home run. Swing. Plenty of exit velocity as well. That was a tough play for Rojas. Almost pulled it off.
Not sure he got a grip on the ball. It was smacked at him, and he didn't get that good throw off he normally does on a very tough play. So here's Syndergaard in a bunting spot. Here in the 5th with a 1-run lead. Marlins have done a good job against Syndergaard today so far. 2 runs, 5 hits. Prado's going to jump this. Now he pulls it back.
Reyes 5 stolen bases on the season.
Syndergaard just 1 sacrifice bunt so far this year. Prado creeping in. 1-0 count on Thor. Reyes is going, and that bunt is fouled back. Is that unusual to have a runner going and the pitcher bunting?
Well, I think in that situation there's a little bit of miscommunication. No, ideally that's not what you're looking for. Maybe Syndergaard was supposed to pull back on that one, but if Reyes is going, you're trying to give him an opportunity to steal a base. Yeah, you don't want 2 things going on at once.
Reyes might have just gotten a good jump and taken off, irregardless of what was going on. Bunt by Syndergaard. Chen had a look at second, plays at the first.
Don't miss the hottest matchup of the summer. Catch your Marlins take on the Yankees August 21st and 22nd. Yankees return to Marlins Park for the first time since 2015. Get your tickets today at marlins.com/tickets. I'll tell you what, Giancarlo Stanton's been heating up with the Yankees. He's been swinging a hot bat this month, trying to keep pace with the Boston Red Sox, and without Judge, he's kind of been the guy.
Derek Jeter, CEO, did not make the trip to Yankee Stadium earlier in the year, but I think he's going to be enjoying when they come here. Hopes to see his team, which has played very good baseball. They've gone through this slump, 2-9, but went almost 2 months before that playing above 500 baseball. One-0 count. Ahmad Rosario. He has walked his 2 times up in this ball game, scored a run. 4 hits in the series. Castro very close to second. He's keeping Reyes as close as possible. Wei Chen has won 57 games in his major league career. That's second only for a Taiwanese pitcher to Ching-Ming Wang, who won 62. Won 19 1 year for the Yankees. I saw a note they were coming out with a documentary just released this year, the Ching-Ming Wang story, on his return to Kansas City. He missed 2 full MLB seasons and came back in 2016. 4.5 ERA. The trailer says, Todd, it's a story of relentless resolve and love. The Ching-Ming Wang story. Check it out on Netflix or somewhere. Look at Prado run Reyes back. 2 outs.
That's what you want to do ideally. Nice job by Prado. Comes in a couple of steps. Chase Reyes back to second base. Strong throw across the diamond.
He knows how sneaky Reyes is, especially with him way off the bag. Good play, keep him at second. Here's Austin Jackson, 0 for 2.
Jackson, a fly ball to right, his first time up. Strikeout victim in the third.
Jackson has hit much better home games this year. Coming into today, 341 in home games, 232 in road games. The bat's similar. Fouls it straight back. The question would be, can Austin Jackson play himself into a conversation for a spot here next year? See where the Mets are trying to go. That's up in the air. Might be an audition, at least it's for somebody, potentially. In his 9th major league season. Mets have gone the other route, playing veterans. Bautista, Jackson, Reyes, guys who maybe aren't part of the immediate future next season. 1 and 2. Marlins are getting a look at some of their top prospects. And there's some good news. Lewis Brinson is expected to return to rehab games this week, possibly. They're saying Tuesday. They don't know where yet, but it looks like Jacksonville might be the spot to work his way back. Garrett Cooper also on his way back. Maybe not as quickly, but the idea is to get them a lot of at-bats in September.
Yeah, they certainly need them, and you need to get them healthy and get them back out on the field. That progression to continue. It's in making strides before hitting the disabled list. Really kind of turned the corner. Swing starting to come around. Found more consistency. Playing some pretty good baseball.
Don Mattingly's been watching him, and you're right there, Todd, every day at batting practice. You could see Don goes to the right side, take a cross, and really watching him closely.
Absolutely.
In batting practice, they make a lot of observations there in terms of how far away he would be, but he needs at bats, of course. But Don told me today he's seeing a lot of good things from Brinson. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Big out there. He struck out Jackson twice. 5th strikeout for Chen. Michael Jordan, who has a small stake in the ownership group. He would be the most famous of the minority owners. No disrespect to Doug Kimmelman and the gang. Here watching the Marlins as they try to come back yet again against the Mets. Way in, Chen. We talked about it last night. It was 51 at bats without a hit until a great moment, April 7th, as he takes the 1-0 pitch against the Mets last season. Do you remember?
Yeah, well, Craig, I'm going to let you go ahead and sell this one. Go get him.
That's called a knock. Look at that. The excitement.
75-footer. Now, I will take it from there in that Chen has been much better this season in his approach. He's even got himself a double. He's hit a couple balls into the gap hard.
1-2 count. And he swings and misses. Tough matchup here for Chen. That was the 4th longest stretch in baseball history, 51 at-bats to start a career without a hit. The guy you mentioned last night who's gotten better, John Lester, has the record at 66 without a hit.
Kind of talked about it in the terms of interest. You know, the American League guys coming over to the National League, and you know, I've seen enough of it where very disinterested at first, and then they realize it would behoove me to get better at this. Move guys along, get some productive outs.
Stay in the game.
Well, we talk
Sometimes
about all
stay
this.
in the game.
Absolutely, if you can handle the bat a little bit better.
Get a big hit. You
Seen
end
a
up
number of
pitching.
guys throughout the year. Some guys get themselves good enough to where they pinch hit.
Many of pitching coaches said, guys, you get a big hit in the 5th inning, you may pitch through 7, get a chance to win a ball game. Especially now, Todd, you think with these 4-man benches. Last night, the Marlins ran into a spot where it was only the 11th inning and Holiday was the last man. They had, you never want to use your backup catcher if you can avoid it. Ortega 1 for 2 in the game. That was the UFC champion, Majudo, I believe. Have not seen his fight, but he threw out the first pitch.
You bring up the weather in Atlanta again, I'm going to have him come up here to the booth.
Fastball, 97 inside, 2-2.
He's a UFC guy. You don't mess around with the UFC guys. You never know. You never know what you might get.
Been around a few of those fights. You're
That's right.
absolutely right. Have you ever seen one in person?
I've not. No, that's not true. I have. I take that back. Have I forgotten? I did in Chicago. It's been a while.
Yeah.
About 7 years. I did. Yes. It's incredible sport.
It is amazing. Worked on one of them a few years back. Fedor Emelianenko, the Russian, and this guy was unbelievable. Took on Mark Coleman, who was 42. Base hit for Ortega. How about this guy? A couple hits. And it didn't go well for Mr. Coleman against the tough Russian. Tough sport. And how about, talk about tough at the plate. Ortega 2 for 3. And now 4 for 11 as a Marlin.
I'm going to tell you what. Some absolutely outstanding at-bats. Just about ready to comment. The Syndergaard sinker, boy oh boy, it seems like it's really starting to dial in. That's exactly what Ortega just pounded right back through the middle. 2 base hits today against Syndergaard. A line out. Some really good swings. He has been impressive since arriving from AAA.
Miguel Rojas with 1 out. Well, you've seen the facets of his game. He's leading off. He stole a base, scored a run. You saw the defense. He nearly made the best catch of the year last night. It was a great effort, notwithstanding.
Ortega is
what more do you want to see?
Here, more.
More is the answer.
I want to see more. You better believe it. Especially out of that top spot in the lineup.
They showed you offense. He nearly homered too, by the way.
Hey,
offense, speed.
The message from day one here this season, going all the way back to spring training, was play well, earn yourself an opportunity, and that went for everybody. He's done that. He did it in AAA. He's earned his way here, and now he is capitalizing on the opportunity. So far, so good.
And he's got a good lead over there, and Syndergaard is taking a look at him. Plawecki has thrown out only 7 of the 39 would-be base stealers, 18%. Now, if you're wondering about Syndergaard, well, base runners have an 89% efficiency against him. Big, tall guy.
Yeah, he's slow to home plate. Pick the right pitch, you can go.
And there he goes. Fastball right over Plawecki's throw, and he dives in there safe. Stolen base number 2 for Rafael Ortega.
Now gets himself a good 2 or 3 step jump. Not a bad throw by Plawecki on the bag, but again, the jump a strong one. It's the 19th stolen base with Syndergaard on the mound. 19 for 21 if you're trying. Idea by Ortega. Himself into scoring position.
Rojas hitting into the crowd. 0-2 now with 1 out. Man in scoring position. Miguel with 44 runs batted in on the season. And the only other Marlin with 2 steals in a game this year against these New York Mets, July 1st. Miguel Rojas. Ground ball up the middle. Ortega goes to third as Rosario gets the out.
Now it sets up a similar scenario that we saw in the first inning. Taking a runner in scoring position. Castro making his way to home plate. RBI single this afternoon.
And contrary to your statistics, 0-2 count. Unbelievable.
Right.
As you said, nobody's getting hits.
Now 141 against Syndergaard in that situation. Castro came through.
.42 RBIs for Castro now on the season. Marlins have doubled up the Mets in hits in this game so far. 6-3. One bouncer off the glove of Frazier, but he regains and throws and gets the out. Nice job by Frazier to save a run on that hot grounder. Concentration for the former Little League World Series champ. infamous play this May night, 1991, when Rodney McRae went through the outfield wall in the minor leagues, Portland Civic Stadium fence. And he had a short career, but forever remember for that minor league moment. And his team giving away that bobblehead. Today, the amazing moment captured forever. I mean, no matter, you don't have to be a sports fan. Everybody has seen that play. And now the bobblehead to commemorate it.
Incredible effort, my goodness. You see it, outfielders will do just about anything to catch the baseball, including running through a wall.
I don't know if DJ Khaled has gone through any walls himself.
Let's hope not.
But his bobblehead given out today to the fans coming into Marlins Park. Wilmer Flores has a count of 2-0 here. Top of the sixth, Chen, 93 pitches. No action in the Marlins pen. Now is starting to loosen up. It looks like a little stretching going on. 3-0 count. That's fouled back. Flores, it's a high pop-up in the infield, and Prado's got it. Good job to come back from 3-0 to get an out. Here's our Chevy prospect spotlight. Connor Scott, promoted to Greensboro, the #1 pick this year, 13th overall pick. Promoted earlier this week, and look at his start there in the Sally League with Greensboro, 333. Marlins have high hopes, obviously, for their first-round pick, guy we got to meet here after the draft.
Starting to get some good results. That's what you love to see for the young man. Connor Scott, very nice man. Very respectful. I think that's what we came away from the day we all got to meet him.
Well,
all the yes sirs and the pleases and the thank yous and the attention to the details.
How many times do you talk to Derek Jeter where the character, the off the field quality is one of the first things they talk about what they want to see from a Marlin and a Marlins representative. Some of the things they go over in that captain's camp that we've talked about. Gary Denbo talking about those things as the scouts players, talks to them. One count on Conforto. He's 0 for 2. And Eliezer Hernandez avoiding our camera.
Yeah, I think he's getting loose, Craig.
Camera's on the other side of that glass, so we get a very unique perspective.
That's right.
That ball is ripped to right field, and it is gone. Line shot by Michael Conforto, his 15th home run of the year. 4-2 New York.
You know, Conforto got all of it. Both home runs today for the Mets. Reyes and Conforto both coming with 2 strikes. Chen, slider, had been a very effective pitch against Conforto. In fact, he just had fouled one off rather weakly. This one, not so much. He got all of it to right. My goodness.
Conforto missed a hittable type pitch in the first. He didn't miss that one. He barreled that one up for a 4-2 lead now. Here's Frazier 1 for 2.
107 miles an hour off the bat of Conforto.
That's his 4th homer since the All-Star break.
And that is a career high, or excuse me, a season high for Chen. 102 pitches, just passed his total from the July 24th start of 101 versus the Braves.
1-2 on Frazier. He's only a strikeout away from his second highest strikeout total. He had 7 against the Cardinals in mid-April. 8 against the Phillies, the high. He's got 6 here. Frazier fouls it back. Frazier, a high pop-up. Miguel Rojas for the second out of the inning. Bautista comes up. We'll see if Chen will stay in and get out of this inning. Looks like he's going to have the opportunity.
Well, Bautista reached on an error and scored in the second, struck out in the fourth.
Ground ball, but perfectly played up the middle. And on the 4-3 put out, Castro throws out Bautista. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Lowest ERA since 2016. Noah Syndergaard 4th on the list at 2.80. DeGrom is making a charge. 2.85 under 2 this year. Clayton Kershaw leads the way by a long shot there, 2.16. What about DeGrom? Do you give him a shot at the Cy Young with the record issue and then the great ERA?
Absolutely. I think there'll be enough, separating out some of those side stories. I think I would almost say even a couple of years ago, I think back to Kluber winning the American League Cy Young Award, or maybe even a Rick Porcello, where winning mattered. And I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying I'm not convinced that it does as much as it used to.
Felix Hernandez won it 1 year, a little number in front of the plate. Plawecki goes out to play it, spins around as they teach you in that direction. And Anderson out 2-3. Hernandez was 13-12. But DeGrom's 6-7. He's going to have, what, 8-10 starts to go? But that ERA is so overwhelming.
Well, I think there's a lot to be determined. I guess that, for me, that's where it sits. I love the debate at this point in the season, but I think there's a lot of information that we're going to get to process out here through the remaining days here in August and September as well.
Dietrich 0 for 2, scored a run. The question will be will the Riders hold it against him, the lack of wins, no matter what's the case. Reyes with an easy grounder. 2 men away.
Sometimes that happens.
Only 66 pitches here for Noah Syndergaard. 5 2/3 into this game.
And I think that look here in the National League, you can also throw in Aaron Nola as well. Certainly don't want to miss out on him. He's having a fantastic season for the Phillies. 13-3 with a 228. Scherzer 15-5 with a 228. There's DeGrom at 6-7 with a 177. Certainly enough time to see where this goes. Too close to call for me right now. When you look at Syndergaard, and after what we saw from Wheeler, you can see why the Mets would maintain a wait-and-see approach maybe with the 2019 season. There's a short list of teams that maybe boast a more impressive 3.
Right.
Throw Matz in there as well, and all of a sudden you're like, wow. I mean, this is a staff, huh?
We're banking on that this year to make a bit of a recovery. They won only 70 games last year, but it was injury plagued. Before that, though, they won 87 and 90 2 years before that.
Yeah, they got to keep Syndergaard healthy and out there, productive every 5th day. I think that's going to be key.
Went to the World Series in 2015, lost 4-1 to Kansas City. And this year, they were feeling real good. They had 11-1 out of the box, best start they've ever had. And things have gone downhill. They are 37-65 in the last 102. In a 5-21 June. Here's the 2-2 pitch inside. How about this, Todd? They went, talking about series, from May 21st to July 22nd. They did not win a series. They went 0-12 and they tied 5.
That's unbelievable. That's when you start to throw out, if it will go wrong, it will cost you.
Good at bat for Martin Prado. He earned that walk.
Now you think back to earlier in the ball game, Prado chased a number of sliders off that outside edge. He's made some nice in-game adjustments. You see the frustration from Syndergaard sitting at 72 pitches.
That's the first walk of the ball game. Marlins have battled Syndergaard in this game. They do have 6 hits. Here's Holiday. A little RBI streak going. Last night had the walk-off hit, RBI single in the 4th, got the Marlins within 3-2. Runner goes. Prado getting a jump, and he's going to slide in. It's close as the throw is on target, but Prado gets his first steal of the season.
My goodness, Prado got at least a good 5 steps before Syndergaard released the ball towards home. The Marlins running an awful lot today. Good to see, taking full advantage of an area of the game that is at their disposal. The Mets not doing a very good job this year of throwing out base runners or even holding some guys on.
Holiday hitting .276 with runners in scoring position. Line drive, base hit, another hit with a runner in scoring position, and another RBI for Brian Holiday. He's now 9 for 30. 333 with runners in scoring, 300 I should say, with runners in scoring position.
Oh, fantastic. I love that they're setting it up too. Now think about it, an innocent walk with 2 outs in an inning, a stolen base and a base hit to center field. You just created a run with a single. Yeah, that slider caught a little bit more of the plate than he was hoping for. Syndergaard, nice job by Holiday. Both his run scoring hits today, very similar.
Here's Sierra. And a topper. Syndergaard's going to bare hand. Did he take him off the base? He did. Safe at first.
Well, everything was under control till Syndergaard saw how fast Sierra was getting down the line. He accelerated and yanked the throw. Pulls Flores off the bag.
Whoa. Mets did not challenge that. Although it was close. Now Dave Island goes out to talk with Noah Syndergaard.
Well, it's hard to say that he's still on the bag, Craig, at least from my eyesight. It is early Sunday afternoon.
It is the 6th inning.
That's right. Well, Syndergaard, he's getting a little refresher course on JT Riddle, who is now pinch hitting. Well, JT 0 for 10 this season as a pinch hitter and in his career. Looking for the elusive first one.
Speed speedens the game, doesn't it? I mean, that's just a case where Syndergaard probably had a half second more than he thought he did, or at least a split second. He just rushed it.
Yeah, he did. Well, he was under control until he probably felt Sierra going by, in that peripheral vision, and then ends up accelerating the throw and pulls Flores right off the bag.
Saw his hair blowing in the wind with the speed of Sierra.
Whose hair was blowing in the
Thor's
wind?
hair was
Thor's
blowing
hair
because
was?
Sierra was so fast going down that line. Thor, named after the hammer-wielding Norse god. His resemblance. He's a character, no doubt about it. 1-1. In HBO's Game of Thrones, he appeared as a character, Lannister's soldier. JT Riddle in a big spot here for the Marlins to try and tie up this game at the least. Get a big hit for himself too. Takes that one outside. He was even on that, I don't know if you ever seen that goofy show called Impractical Jokers.
I have.
He was in an episode there, the punishment with Joe. He's a big fan of the show.
As am I.
Yeah, it is a great, it's a great show.
Great show.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Riddle hits it well to right field, right center, but Jackson will spray over there and get there for the out. Riddle hit it well, but wrong spot. So 4-3 now. That's by 1.
Fox Sports Florida and Southwest Airlines are giving you an opportunity to enter for a chance to win an all-inclusive stay in Nassau in the Bahamas on Labor Day weekend. Southwest Airlines Summer Days Getaway. Just tweet hashtag Southwest Summer Days Sweeps and hashtag sponsored to @Fox Sports FL for your chance to win.
Eliezer Hernandez tried to keep this a one-run game for Miami. Comes into the 7th inning. We saw Eliezer last night. We saw everybody
That's right.
last night.
Could say that after anybody who comes out of the bullpen today, just about, except for Mr. Graves.
Yes.
Marlins bullpen last night did a fantastic job. Yeah, he's been throwing the ball pretty well. Scoreless inning last night, 1 inning, 1 hit. The bullpen last night, 7 relievers, 95 total pitches, only 2 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts. Good job by the bullpen.
Syndergaard is at only 80 pitches, even with the stressful 6th. He's up 3rd this inning. Plawecki fouls that ball off, 0-2. Yeah, just missed. Good fastball by Hernandez on an 0-2 pitch. Plawecki 0 for 2 in the game. Reyes on deck. He's been hot. He's 2 for 2. That slider out of the strike zone. Now full count to Plawecki.
Well, Hernandez, like so many of the Marlins, great numbers here at Marlins Park. 2.65 ERA. This is his 18th game at home.
Strike 3 call. He got the corner that time. He was pecking away at it throughout the at-bat, and he got it for the strikeout.
Well, Plawecki, some choice words. Not happy at all with that call. Things got a little dicey there at home plate.
Here's our T-Mobile built for baseball. Jose Reyes jumping on that pitch. A 2-run shot for the Mets in the 2nd inning. Snapping a string of 4 games without a homer. Longest in a few years for the Mets. Later, Conforto homering. It's the longest streak since July of 15, when they went 6 games without a home run. And here he is, Reyes, 2 for 2.
Both home runs against Chen today, with 2 strikes.
1-1 pitch is inside. Maybe, Todd, Reyes was listening to one of his 15 motivational songs on his label, Siete Music. He has a recording studio in his basement in his house. Maybe that's what got him going today.
Some motivational listening.
His own songs. He's released 15 of them. You haven't been listening to that CD, I guess.
Well, I count on you to bring me that type of information.
Reyes rips that one, but this time Anderson, shading to right center, will make the catch. So Syndergaard will bat with the low pitch count here, just 80 pitches. I think the Marlins have done a pretty stand-up job, though, against Syndergaard today. He's had good stuff, but the Marlins are battling. They've got 7 hits, managed 3 runs.
This game is far from over. Marlins have been answering. Just in the last 2 ball games, innings in which the Mets had scored, the Marlins have responded 3 different times. 3 of the 4, in fact.
Syndergaard hits it to left field. incoming, diving, could not get it, Ortega. But in and out of his glove.
And that's going to go as a hit. A valiant effort from Ortega. Tough read for Ortega. He actually delayed just a bit. There might have even been a little bit of a false step back. I know that Syndergaard might bring that out of you because he's such a big guy. You know, 6'5" in the box. You think anything in the air is going to be crushed. That situation there, a drop step on a ball below may have cost him there on the catch.
He had a long way to go. The Marlins outfield was fairly deep for a pitcher. They nearly made a very good catch. Rosario 0 for 1 and a couple of walks, scored a run.
Rosario, a couple of walks today. First 2 times up, came around to score in the first, stole a base as well.
There's a called strike, 2-1.
One thing we know about Rosario, he really likes to swing the bat. He does have a 3-walk game in his career. In fact, it happened last time the Mets were in town, but he did it out of the 8th spot in the lineup, June 29th. 3 walks against these Marlins.
2-1 is fouled off for Syndergaard, his 5th hit of the season to extend this inning. Miami will have the top of the order up in the bottom of the 7th. Be a nice way to end what's been a frustrating run if the Marlins can pull this game out and head on a tough road trip against 2 teams that have some thoughts about winning the division.
Battle back and win a series as well.
Right. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Good job by Hernandez. And we will go to the bottom of the 7th in a 4-3 game at Marlins Park.
Three Well, throughout the weekend, the Marlins' better halves have been helping South Florida get ready to get back to school with their annual back-to-school drive. And over the past 2 days, the Marlins' wives have collected 7 huge full bins of school supplies donated by fans. Those supplies will go towards one of the Marlins' 2018 charity partners, Dibia Dream. Dibia Dream is a nonprofit that provides a safe after-school place and fosters life skill developments through sports and special programs. So well done by the fans and well done by the Marlins' better halves.
Thank you, Kelly. Nice crowd here on a Sunday afternoon as the Marlins trying to battle back. They've been fighting back. Last night they were able to do it from a 3-0 deficit. Craig Benavides back with Todd Hollandsworth up in the booth here tonight, down against Syndergaard, but they've been pecking away at him.
Well, they have. I mean, when you look at the history that Syndergaard's got against the Marlins and you kind of factor it into today's ball game, you say, yeah, they've done pretty well today. Season, I should say, this is the most runs they've ever scored against Syndergaard in their career against Syndergaard. That's 7 starts, 3. So, again, looking for improvement there. They've tied the season high in a start against Syndergaard as well with the 7 hits. So the approach there, I love the fact that guys have been running, getting guys into scoring position. They've created some runs today, which is great to see for the Marlins as well. That's going to probably be their way moving forward, not leaning on that home run nearly as much, obviously, Borgone. So, you know, they're hanging in there. They're giving themselves a chance to win a baseball game. And what do we know about the Marlins, especially here at Marlins Park? You get this thing tied maybe to extra innings, they're good. And that's, you know, that's just it. They have played close ball games in this ballpark very well.
7-4 in extra innings, 8 walk-off wins for the Marlins. And they certainly showed Noah Syndergaard he's not going to dominate them today. He has struck out 5 twice, though, was Chen. They've had runners on. In fact, they've left a runner on in 2nd, in the 4th, a runner on 3rd and the 5th, and another one in scoring position in the 6th.
Right.
After scoring runs in the 4th and 6th as well. So they've had their shots. And no reason to think they won't battle them rest of the way. And the guy kind of personifying this has been Rafael Ortega, who is 2 for 3 against Mickey Callaway's ball club here in this game.
Well, and the other thing that I'm really impressed with is that they've continued to run despite trailing. And sometimes you'll see a team that starts to, fall behind a guy. They're like, oh, we've got a couple base runners, but we don't want to lose them on the bases. The Marlins have stayed aggressive. In fact, all of their stolen bases from behind. 3 stolen bases today. Ties their season high. They also stole 3 July 9th. It's against the Brewers.
The Marlins can do a few more things now with Ortega in there and Sierra, the speed factor. Obviously, you still have to get on, but they can use that as a weapon, which has not been a weapon this season.
Only 34 stolen bases on the season for the Marlins.
That one right in the direction of the dugout. And oh, by the way, the stolen bases both leading directly to runs in this game. Still has a place in baseball, the stolen base.
Yeah.
Ortega crushes one to right field. It's going to go foul, but man, did he hit that.
I'm telling you, he has had some great at-bats. Syndergaard did exactly what he was looking to do. I mean, this is the slider. It's in. Look where Plawecki's setting up. It's exactly where he wanted it, maybe a little bit more inside, and he missed tying up this game by just a few feet.
Now the 1-2 he battles up. I'm thinking about the difference between a few feet, a few inches for Ortega already. He had the one to the wall last night, the catch in left field that he banged into the fence, and then that was a little bit to the right. But impressive stuff, number 52. Yeah, they say he went. Ed Hickox said Ortega went around. 6th K for Syndergaard.
Yeah, not the slider, the curveball now in. So he took a little bit more off. Your eyes see that a little bit more, and a little bit more swing. Not too much swing for that at bat. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Yeah, you mentioned the base running. I love the fact the Marlins are willing to do it. Now, great base running isn't just represented in the form of stolen base totals. And they're doing a lot of things better. Taking the extra base on the ball in the dirt. Going 1st to 3rd a number of times. That's going to be who they are as a team. through the remaining games this season, at least in my opinion. You may see the occasional big home run here or there.
You mentioned the way Ortega read the Castro single and got a great jump, scored easily.
Those are keys to being good on the bases, and you can gain advantages there.
Rojas swings and misses 0-2. He's 0 for 3 in the game. Marlins with a doubleheader coming up tomorrow. They are going to call up Merandy Gonzalez to pitch one of the 2 games. You're allowed to do that in a doubleheader. He'll be the, quote, 26th man. We don't know which game yet he will pitch. And swing and a miss.
It's easy to beat the heat when you become an energy-saving expert. Go to fpl.com/beattheheat.
So Syndergaard up to 7 strikeouts, 2 outs here with Castro up. Starlin 1 for 3. One pitch is fouled off. Count of 0-2 on Castro. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That pitch is outside. Now 1-2. Castro can get on. Brian Anderson will be up. Syndergaard at 89, so if he can get out of here, they might be even looking, trying to get him through the 8th with the way the Mets pen has changed, although been effective in August. That fastball's inside. Would you expect potentially to see Syndergaard in the 8th?
Yeah.
91 pitches. We'll see. The
It's a
bullpen has done a good job.
It has. Well, I
Revamped.
mean, and that's why, you know, listen, you look at the number and you say, okay, well, wait a minute, he could go right back out there. This is a 1-run ball game. It has been filled with some stress for Syndergaard. My guess is you will not see him in the 8th. I'd be shocked if you did.
2-2 count on Castro.
Mets bullpen has been throwing very well in the month of August. This gets Plawecki right in the left thigh. My goodness.
Ooh. The old courtesy wipe of the plate by the home plate umpire Ramon De Jesus. Give Plawecki a few more moments.
The last couple of outings for Syndergaard, 91 pitches, 2 starts ago, 96 his last time out.
That fastball almost caught a piece of Castro. Starlin is a good fastball hitter, and Syndergaard is being very careful not to put a fastball over the middle of the plate to Castro. Started off with the sliders. Now a payoff pitch. Line shot down the left field line. It just curves foul. That pitch is outside, and he walks Castro.
Wellmax Medical Centers are taking care of Marlins fans on Senior Thursdays. Fans 65 and older can receive a complimentary ticket to the game with a valid ID at the third base entrance to Marlins Park. Join us Thursday, August 23rd, when the Marlins face the Braves. For more information, visit marlins.com/offers.
Dave Eiland out to talk with Noah Syndergaard. That pitch count now is up to 96. Robert Gesellman starts to loosen up, and quickly for the Mets. Now Syndergaard has to deal with Brian Anderson. Castro has 5 steals this year. We'll see if the Marlins continue that theme. They are 3 for 3. They have not had 4 steals in a game this year.
Good lead by Castro at first.
He's only been caught 1 time.
He's only been caught 1 time in the last 3 years.
Can you top this?
I was actually surprised he got caught this season.
Well, Syndergaard may know that stat as well because he's watching Castro very closely. Anderson's 1 for 3. He'd love to find that right center field gap for an extra base hit. Well, he might even take the left center field gap, I would believe.
Castro will be moving on any contact. 2 outs here in the 7th.
That fastball is in tight. So 2-0 now in Anderson. Marlins have had runners on against Syndergaard in every one except the 2nd and the 3rd when he got on a nice roll. Retired 9 in a row at one point. But there have been some base runners for the Marlins, and they've plated 3 against Syndergaard.
Castro stepping a dive back to first base. He's got his maximum lead.
.20 pitch. That one is in there. Fastball. Syndergaard has only given up more than 3 runs in any appearance twice. The first one of the season against St. Louis, he gave up 4 runs, and his last outing he gave up 4 runs against the Reds in 6 1/3. Everything else 3 and less. Runner goes on a 2-1 and a chopper to Frazier. And the inning is over. So we're through 7, 4-3 New York.
For the Marlins. Well, how about our bonefish? Fresh catch of the day would be 1 Brian Anderson catching 1 Todd Frazier. Oh no, what were you thinking? Thought you had a double. No, you didn't. Time and time again, 8th outfield assist on the season. Brian Anderson. And the mechanics and the arm strength, boy oh boy, he's going to do that plenty more. Hopefully plenty more this season and throughout his career.
Austin Jackson takes a strike, so you're playing with the word catch there. That's a different kind of catch of the day.
Yeah, he caught Todd Frazier. Did he not?
He did. That's the catch with the glove.
Was that what you were waiting for?
I was waiting for the catch
You
with
got
the glove
dropped
like
right
yesterday. And like Brian Anderson.
Well,
what catch did he make today?
Listen, catch a lot of different things. Catch wins,
yeah.
Catch fly balls.
Catch a cold.
Catch cold. Apparently you can catch Todd Frazier's.
2-1 count here on Jackson. Well, we've caught a couple of good ball games for the Marlins, which is good to see here. And let's see if they can come back down 4-3.
Well, they've kept themselves in position to make a run.
Jackson smokes that one to center. Sierra back. He's cool as a cucumber out there.
It's impressive, isn't it? I've noticed that myself over his body of work, which is now at 16 starts in center field. His stress level doesn't go up much in center. There's never the sense of panic in any catch that he makes.
So Jackson's 0 for 4. And here is Wilmer Flores. Mattingly wanted to go for a 2-inning stint in the game last night, but the pitch counts got too high for him. So this is big if he can get 2 out of Hernandez here. Still 2 more outs to go to accomplish that. Flores here. Conforto on deck. Wilmer is 0 for 2. Drove in a run with a sac fly in the first. And a count of 0-2 on Flores. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Line shot to center. Now Sierra comes in on a line drive and he makes that catch. Mets might want to pick on somebody else out there.
I tell you, one of my Dodger coaches said to me early in my career, good outfielders are described as boring, meaning that they just make the, well, sometimes hard catches look easy. Those are your better outfielders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sierra's looked rather boring today. He's made some nice catches. Great read right there. Couple steps in.
He didn't earn the bonefish catch of the day, though, today. Oh, he does have 4 grabs.
He didn't catch Todd Frazier.
Here's Michael Conforto again with the 0-2 count. Now the Marlins will switch up the infield.
Well, Conforto has reached base 7 times this series. 3 hits, 4 walks. Last time up, 2-strike home run against Chen. It came in the 6th.
One, 2 on Conforto. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 6 outs for Eliezer Hernandez. Allowed just 1 single. Good job in the 7th and the 8th. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Marlins trail by a run. Gesellman is in to pitch the 8th inning for the Mets. Syndergaard's night done after 7 innings. The new Monopoly Jackpot scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery are new spin on a classic. They're loaded with prizes from $10,000 to $2 million. So unleash the excitement anytime. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly.
Robert Gesellman into the ball game. 3.96 ERA, is tied for 6th among all major league relievers with 6 wins. 7th in the majors with 63 2/3 innings of relief. He's got himself 58 Ks. And he's been good. Last 4 times out, scoreless, no walks, 4 Ks, only 3 hits allowed.
He's 1 for 11 in the series. Did get on base in a fielder's choice and score a run in the 4th inning.
Gesellman still mains that starter arsenal, uses 3 pitches out of the pen. Sinking fastball, 94, 95 miles an hour. Slider, curve, and change.
Dietrich, Prado, Holiday, the scheduled 3 for Miami here.
Gesellman really staying in tight on Dietrich.
Breaking ball is outside. Count evens 2-2. Gesellman was a middle reliever this season, but with the trades and the revamped bullpen, A.J. Ramos, our friend, great Marlin pitcher, injured and out for the year. Become more of a back-end guy. Ground ball, softly hit. Reyes plays it and gets the out.
Manage your dream team in franchise mode. Plus get weekly stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at RBI.com. Rated E for everyone.
Martin Prado's had a good day. He is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. As you look at Javi Guerra, getting ready for inning number 9.
I really like the last couple of at-bats against Syndergaard. Syndergaard kind of had his number early in this ball game. Struck him out in the 2nd inning, really using that 92-mile-an-hour slider. Got ahead in at-bat number 2. Went after him with 98 one time, and he lined it right back through the box. At-bat in the 6th. Walked, stole a base, came around to score.
Prado did not like that call on the fastball inside. Inside on our pitch cast, it was off the plate as well, but now it's 0-2 instead of 1-1. Prado coming into the ballgame and hit 94 points higher at home than on the road. And that went up a little bit. Ground ball up the middle. Rosario diving. Can he get up and throw out Prado? No, he can't. Infield base hit. Another hit at home for Prado. He's 2 for 3.
You see the dive up the middle from Rosario. He's playing him over in the hole, maybe anticipating a little bit more pull. The sinker from Gesellman. Rosario had a long way to go. You see him holding his back there on the dive. It will be an infield single for Prado and a pinch run for Rivera.
We saw Prado hobbling a bit yesterday. He gets on base, gets to give the Marlins an opportunity here, try and tie up the ball game. Rivera in and Holiday up. Prado now hitting .294 at home. Rivera has 2 steals on the year. He's been caught 1 time.
Now you can run on Gesellman. Base Steelers 6 for 6 this season.
In the 6th, Prado stole second, and almost immediately Holiday drove him in with a base hit. Brian's 2 for 3. He has RBIs now in 3 of his last 4 at bats. Last night he had the game winner, and then here today a couple of RBI singles in the 4th and the 6th. There goes Rivera. Ground ball softly at the shortstop. Rosario charging and throwing. He'll get at Holiday, but the Marlins do get a runner into scoring position. And Magnarice Sierra is up. He's 0 for 3.
JT making his way to the on-deck circle.
That fastball is over. Marlins are 3 for 9 in this ball game with runners in scoring position. They've done well as a team this year in this scenario. 255. 14 points higher than their team average with runners in scoring position. And Sierra's 2 for 7 in this scenario. Actually 2 for 8 after the line out earlier. Ground ball to first. It's a fair ball. And racing to the bag and getting there in time of the in front of the sliding Sierra is Flores. So we'll go to the 9th with the Mets still up by 1. Brought to you by Southwest Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Lincoln, join the Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event. And by your South Florida Honda dealers. Well, we can say it's a beautiful day again in South Florida after some raindrops, typical summertime.
Yeah.
4-3, Mets leading. And Yadiel Rivera is in to play third. He came in a pinch run for Prado, stays in the ball game. He'll stay in the number 6 order in the lineup. Todd Frazier is 1 for 3, and Eliezer Hernandez will get his 3rd inning of work.
He's been throwing the ball well. It's the role that he has taken on in the bullpen. admit I'm not too surprised. Getting good results lately.
Frazier hits one to left field. Ortega's got it.
%40 of his relief outings this season have actually been more than 2 innings. So I don't know why you're so surprised.
I was surprised. Seth Lugo is you're just not used to seeing it, especially in a 4-3 game. I would presume some of those were in more of the long relief role off the top of my head. I can't remember too many in a 4-3 type game, especially late. But hey, 7 pitchers. There were 7 relievers in the game last night for the Marlins. So this is just what Mattingly needed. Batista down the line. Ortega's going to give it a look. And it goes into the crowd. Beg your pardon, Jeff McNeil, the left-hand hitter, of course, jumping up there. Fan in the Yankee jersey made the catch. I don't know if he would have gotten it anyway. Leaned over.
He was protecting himself from some ricochet.
Yep.
In case that ball was not caught by the gentleman in the Yankees uniform.
Now Don Mattingly may,
I think he's going to go out and talk about it.
Now the fan did reach over.
He certainly did. Touch the glove. Across that green barrier.
Now you see the third base ump. He had a good look at it. Ed Hickox. You know what? He might have gotten that on the backhand.
Well, that's the part. This is the part of the game where you're a fan and you see the backhand there by Ortega, where you're the fan. Craig, you stick your arm across and make that catch, and everybody comes up and says, "Yeah, that was a great catch." And then you realize that everybody's staring at you because you reached across the field, and then you've got the virus. Everybody slides away from you. Says, "Move back a little while."
And they're going to take a look at this. Spectator interference.
See, there's nobody sitting by him anymore. You notice that?
So he definitely leaned over. And the umpires confirm no fan interference. Now, I thought spectator interference was a manager challenge, and the Marlins lost their challenge. There are crew chief reviews, but those usually involve the other home run rules checks, batting out of order type issues. But call does not go the Marlins' way. They did have a beef. McNeil fouls it back 0-2. Jeff McNeil, we saw him as a starter first 2 games in the series. He was 0 for 5 last night, 1 for 5 in the first game of the series.
1 for 2 as a pinch hitter this season.
Mets scored early last night, 3 in the 4th, were held off the board after that. They had 3 runs in the first 2 innings here and added 1 in the 6th. On the homer by Conforto, lead 4-3. McNeil drives it to center. There's Sierra. Two men away, Kevin Plawecki. As we get a look at Seth Lugo. Tall right-hander. Mets have been using a bit of a bullpen by committee. We've seen Jerry Blevins in a safe spot Monday against the Reds. Gesellman has been the primary closer the last 3 weeks or so. And a ground ball back to the box. What a job by Eliezer Hernandez, who threw 37 pitches and got 9 big outs for Miami. They trail by 1. Off fashion, one way or the other. Stay tuned later for our Marlins Live post-game show. There's the gang getting set. Jessica, Tommy Hutton, Jeff Nelson not listening once again. Back to school. No, the first two, but Nelson did not waive, presented by WB Mason. He is not ready to go back to school. But he will be ready for that post-game show. Seth Lugo will be in. Brandon Nimmo, good defender, comes in to play right field for the Mets, and here's Lugo to try and close it out.
Well, Lugo's got good stuff. 2.80 ERA on the season, 78 strikeouts, just over 80 innings of work. Four-seam fastball, sinker, slider. So has a good curveball and a changeup.
What he doesn't have, Todd, is a save. He has not saved a game this year. He does have 3 in the minors. He has never saved a major league game. So he's going to get this chance. And JT Realmuto tries to start it off for Miami.
Lugo's pitched much better out of the bullpen. 2.35 ERA. He's made some starts for the Mets. That's why you see that big inning total. Those innings have not just been out of the bullpen. He certainly has been far from perfect of late. He's allowed 5 earned runs his last 11 in the 3rd innings.
Line drive, that's going to get down. Outfield playing deep. In a no doubles. And a good rip by Realmuto, whose bat's coming alive in this series to lead it off.
Most certainly is. Think back to last night. Had a huge run-scoring base hit to center field. Picks on a fastball, 95 in the zone. Great swing going right back through the box. Marlins with their leadoff man on.
Interesting is Gesellman has 6 saves, leads the current staff, and yet Callaway had him pitch the 8th inning, and Lugo never in this spot try and get the save, or never at least had a save. Here in the 9th inning, Realmuto leads it off for a single. Rafael Ortega now out of the Marlins play. He's 2 for 4. Lugo has done a better job preventing stolen bases. There have been 4 of the 7 that have been able to be successful against Lugo.
Tell you, Ortega has been impressive. Couple of hits today. He has defended both that outside corner and inside corner pretty well in this series against the Mets.
You think he's bunting here? Or
I
no?
don't. No, he's swinging the bat.
1-0 pitch. 2-0. Well, he's earned a lot of respect in a short period of time from Don Mattingly as Plawecki goes out. And that may be one of the reasons why he's not bunting, is he has handled the bat very well from what we've seen.
He's done an outstanding job in this series. The Marlins struggling offensively in the month of August. They're looking for spark plugs anywhere they can get them.
He's had a hit in each start, 2 in this game. He's had some ferocious lineouts. The one that nearly got out in the game last night. Line drive at short and third here around his outs. That's hammered down the first base line and foul. That's the way you grab it as a fan. Count of 2-1. Romuto runs well. Marlins sensing they have another one of those magical wins in their back pocket. They've had 8 walk-offs. That pitch is inside. He's got that good eye at the plate too. Todd, you mentioned he had more walks in the minors this year.
More walks than strikeouts, and we've seen it from him. I mean, he's been very patient. He's done a nice job really sticking to his game plan, looking for pitches in his zone.
Line drive, it's ripped foul. He hit a long foul home run type ball against Syndergaard in this game as well. Off the facade, right of the foul pole.
JT, 1 stolen base on the season, 1 for 3. Not going.
3-2 pitch, fouls it off again.
I'm really not surprised JT's not running here. One thing that we've seen with Ortega, you kind of said it, key phrase, he's lined out a few different times. He's squaring up the baseball right now, and certainly don't want to forfeit JT at first base. He's likely to see Ortega rip a base hit, JT get to third base.
Ground ball though to second base. Reyes over for 1 on to first, and it's a double play. 4-6-3 double play.
Well, hard hit. Lugo able to get the ground ball that he was looking for. JT not running. Two outs, 1 swing of the bat. Momentum back to the Mets. The Marlins down to their last out.
And it's Miguel Rojas 0 for 4. That's a big one for Lugo in his quest for his first major league save. Fell behind on the count. Was a pitch away from potentially putting first and second, nobody out, and he gets double play ball. Line drive, base hit, Rojas. Marlins are not going down easily. And now in the form of Castro, the potential winning run comes to the plate. Tying run at first.
Yeah, great swing from Rojas. Slider didn't do too much. Stayed on that, the outer third, that outside corner. Drive base hit to center field, and you're absolutely right. Marlins will not go down without a fight. Starling Castro, an RBI single, his first at bat today. Walked last time up.
Lugo has allowed this year 7 homers in 81 innings. Todd was saying yesterday one of the ways the Marlins have not won via the walk-off is a walk-off homer yet this year. So we'll see. Castro's got the power. He's got 9 homers in the year. You get a pinch runner. Isaac Galloway comes in, representing an important base runner, obviously, the potential tying run. Outfield is very deep. They're playing that no doubles. But anything short is going to drop in front of them. Now, how bold the Marlins get on the base path, that would be interesting.
Galloway, good speed. Righties much better numbers against Lugo than the lefties. Righties hitting .251 for the 7 home runs. Lefties only .185. 2 righties this inning with base hits against Lugo.
Ortega had a good at bat too. He really did. He hit a couple hard. He laid off some pitches. Just unfortunately,
Lugo made his pitch. He got that ground ball.
He's able to get him. Starts off Castro with a strike. Starling is 1 for 3. RBI single in the first. Time is called.
Lugo called for another meeting with Plawecki at the mound. Making sure that they're on the same page, that they've got their idea of sequencing down.
Marlins trying to tie up the season series. Mets lead 6-5. Marlins have won 5 of 7, but they're going to have to do it in dramatic fashion if they can pull it off here this afternoon. That pitch is over. 95-mile-an-hour strike right down the middle.
I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Castro's run scoring single in the first inning, 55th 2-strike hit this season.
0-2 pitch. That's inside with the fastball.
A lot of hitters get uncomfortable with 2 strikes. Span their strike zone sometimes. Not Castro. He's actually quite comfortable in these situations.
Well, breaking ball. Castro stays alive. Lugo out of Centenary College of Louisiana, trying for his first major league save. Castro trying to disrupt that. 1-2 pitch, ground ball hit over to Frazier at third. And he throws just in time to get Castro, and the Mets have won the series, and they hang on to win 4-3 and make a winner again out of Noah Syndergaard on a very close play at first base.
About a half a step. Starlin hustling all the way down the line. Frazier strong throw across the diamond.
Our Coors Light refreshing finish. Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah, good enough to get it done once again against the Marlins. Came in with great career numbers. 1.62 ERA. The Marlins battled today. They put together some quality at bats on a few Syndergaard fastballs and put some pressure on him. He went back out for the 7th inning, picked up a couple strikeouts. Syndergaard was very good. Certainly good enough this afternoon to get the win, the series win.
So the Mets walk off, winning their 5th out of 8. Marlins getting set for a road trip, but a busy day tomorrow. Good ball game today. Thanks for joining us. Enjoyed it with Todd Hollingsworth, Craig Minervini. The South Florida Honda Dealers and WB Mason post game is coming up.